three categories of users? Vaishnavi, MS. What are the three categories of users?
Group owner,
Okay, group owner and
owner,
okay, owner
and other.
and others. Okay. How do you change a file permission? What is the command used for changing the file permission? Sumant, Sumant Rai, Sumant Rai. What is the command that is used to change a file permission? Sumant Rai. Abhishek, Abhishek, Karthik, Karthik, you're there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the command that is used for changing file permission?
chmod.
chmod. Okay. What are the two ways of changing file permissions? What are the two ways for changing file permission? What are the two
Read,
ways?
write. Read, write.
Read, write, it is the permission. I'm asking what are the two ways you can change the file permission? What are the two manners you can change a file permission?
Relative permission.
Relative permission and
Absolute permission.
absolute. Okay, these are the two ways. So this is what we discussed in the last session. Okay, different types of file attributes. Okay, examples and file ownerships, changing file. Yeah. So relative permission we discussed, and today we'll discuss about absolute permission. Okay, and this table I already showed. Okay, so we'll be giving the permission. We must know the octal numbers and the binary representation of the octal number. Okay, so in this table you can see, for example, for read permission we are giving the number as 4. Okay, so read permission means it is number 4. The number 4 can be represented in binary as 100. Okay, so first one it indicates the leftmost bit, it indicates read. Okay, the middle one it indicates write, and last bit indicates execute. Okay, the order R, W, and X. Okay, so read, write, and execute. So here it is 100. You can see wherever you have 0, it means there is absence of permission. Okay, so it is R hyphen and hyphen. So it is read only permission. Okay. Similarly, if it is write permission, for write permission, the number is octal number is 2, which can be represented in binary as 010. Okay, so 010 is nothing but, so in the permission you will be writing where you have 1. Okay, the middle part it will be having the permission, the 0 will not be having any permission. So read is 0 and write you have, and execute is 0. So only it is write only permission. Okay. Similarly for execute permission, okay, execute permission it is 001. So 1 it is, 1 means in binary it is 001. So it is hyphen hyphen. Okay. So execute permission. Okay. So similarly you can see other numbers. Okay. So 4 plus 2. Okay, it is a 6. Okay. So if you want these two permission, okay. So read and write permission, it will be 4 plus 2. It is 6. Okay. 6 is represented in binary as 110. Okay, that means read and write. Okay, it is read and write permission. Okay. And similarly, if you want all these three permissions, okay, so it is 4 plus 2 plus 1, it is 7. Okay, so 7 is binary, it is 1, 1, 1. So all three are 1, so it is write, read, write, and execute permission. Are you clear with this table? Any doubt in this table? You understood how the binary is converted into permission? Any doubt in this table? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So let's start with few examples. So absolute permission. Okay, here in absolute permission we are changing. Okay, we are setting the final permission without knowing the current permission. We are not. We don't want anything about the current permission. No details about the current permission is necessary. Okay, we just set the final permission. Okay. So again, we have three categories here. Okay, and three permissions: read W, RW, and X. Okay. So here CH mode. Okay. So the first one it is. So for user we are setting the permission. So first it is user. Okay. So there are three categories, right? So first category. Okay. So it is for user. Second is for group, and the last is for others. Okay. So now I am setting the permission for user. So 6 means what? What are 6 means? Which permission 6?
Read and write.
Okay, 6 is read and write. Okay. So in binary it is represented as 1, 1, 0. Okay. So it is read and write. So we are giving read and write permission to the user. Okay. So user it is owner. Okay. So for owner we are giving read and write permission. So the next one is group. Okay. So group again I will give 6. Okay. So for the group again we are giving read and write permission. Again for others we are giving read read and write permission. So this is three categories. Okay. So each category is having three permissions. So the first 6 indicates it is file owner. Next 6 it indicates file group owner. Okay. And the last one it indicates others. Okay. And give the name of the file. Let me give 2. Now you see the permission. Okay, so you can see here. So the first group is having, it is for owner. So he is having read and write permission. Second is for group. Okay, and the last one is for others. Okay. So this is how we give permissions. So give few more examples. Okay. C44. What does this indicate? 644. 6 is owner, we are giving read and write permission. 4 means how much? 4 is what? 4 is
Read only.
read only permission. So for group and others, okay, we are giving read only permission. You see the file. Now previously it was RW. Now you can see we are giving for the group and for others we are giving only read only permission. Okay. Two more examples. 741. 741. 7 is for what? 7 means
Read, write, and execute.
okay, read, write, and execute. 4
Read only.
read only. Then 1
Executor.
okay, 1 is
Executor.
execute only. Okay. So in the same command line, we can see the output. You see here, 7, read, write and execute. Okay, R, it is read only, and the final one, others is having only execute permission. Okay, so this is about absolute permission. Okay. So you can, like this, you have to give the example and you have to write what does that example means. So the next one is the security implication. Okay. So what is a security problem we have with these type of permissions? Either it can be a relative or absolute permission. Okay. What is the security problem we have? You can see here. chmod u minus rwx comma g minus r comma o minus x. What type of a permission is this? Relative or absolute? What type of permission is this? What mode of permission is this?
Relative.
Okay, the relative permission. So what I'm doing here? What I'm doing here, boys? Prajwal is there? Prajwal. So here what we are doing is we are removing, okay, from the user we are removing. See here, previously he was having read, write and execute permission. I'm removing from the user read, write and execute permission. Similarly, from the group we are removing read permission, and from others we are removing execute permission. Okay. Now look at the file permissions. What is permission of a file? It is a dummy file. Okay, it's a file which may have content, but nobody can read the file, write the file, or execute the file. Now the file is useless file, correct? You cannot read the file, you cannot write the file, you cannot execute the file. Okay, so what happens is if you give like this permissions, okay, the chances that the file may become useless. Okay, but still remember you can delete the file as a user. Okay, creator of the file, still you have the right to delete the file. Okay. The same way you can do it using chmod 000. So 00 means what? 0 stands for what?
No
0 means
permission.
no permission. So user, group or others have no permission. So 000 you can write. Okay. So it will give the same result with no permissions. Okay. Similarly, you can give all the permissions. Chmod. Okay. A plus RWX. Okay. So what does this mean? What does that A indicates? What does this A indicates?
All.
All. So for all, that is user, group and others, we are giving all the 3 permissions. Okay. So in this case, the chances that the file maybe it is dangerous to give all the permission for all the categories. Okay. So this we have to take care. Okay. Similarly, you can do it using absolute. Okay. Absolute. How we can give all the permission? We have to give 777. Okay. So 777 means all the permission for all the categories. Okay. So this is also dangerous to give all the permission to all the categories. Okay. So these are 2 things you have to take care. Okay. Removing all the permission or giving all the permissions.
Right. ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಬಂತಲೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅನ್ಬೋದು
Srija Shetty. Please mute. This is what about the file security implications. Okay. So these are the examples, okay, where we are removing all the permissions, and here we are giving all the permissions. Okay, so in the exam also you are supposed to write something like this on your book. Similar way you have to write. The next one is using chmod recursively. Using chmod recursively. So here for recursively, okay, so chmod for recursively means, okay, for example, you have a folder here. Okay, inside this folder we have several files. Again, inside that we have again files. Okay. Now, if you want to give the permission, for example, I want to give read permission for all the files which is there inside this folder. Okay. So in that case, I can go for minus R options. Okay. So in this minus R option, what it does is it applies the permission to all the files and subdirectories. So look into this example. chmod minus R, capital R, A plus execute. Okay, and this must be a directory. Okay. C2 we don't have, C1 with this. So here what you can do is we are applying recursively execute permission, okay, for all the categories, group, user and others. Okay. Recursively for all the files and subdirectories which is there inside this C1 folder. Okay. So whatever the files, even if there was a file inside C2 also, they will also get this execute permission. So this is minus R option. So using chmod recursively. The next one is directory permission. So for directory permission, okay, to see the permission of the directory, we are using, okay, minus D. Look into this. Suppose if I give minus L, it will list all the permissions, okay, irrespective whether it is a file or a directory, it will list all the directories and files, correct? But if I give minus LD, okay, minus LD, it will list, okay, only directories, okay, only the permission of a particular directory. So this is, okay, you can apply it for a file, that will be for a directory. Okay, so this is for a particular directory C1. Okay, so what is the option we are using? We are using an option minus D. Okay, so this is minus D option. Use it for seeing the directory permission. So we are having an example here. mkdir. Why mkdir is used? Why mkdir is used?
Making directory.
Okay, make directory, the name of the directory is C underscore programs. Okay, and we are running one more command, ls minus ld. Okay, so give the folder name, that is directory name. Okay, and it will list permission of the directory. Okay, so this D, starting D, it indicates that it is a directory. Okay. So here Kumar is the file owner, and who is a group owner? Who is a group owner? Rija, who is a group owner? Vidya Shetty. Who is the group owner? Now you unmute. Vidya Shetty. Okay. So who is the group owner here? What is the name of the group owner?
Metal.
Okay. So this is the group owner name. Okay. The default permission of all a directory are this one. Okay. So this is the default permission of all the directories 755. So 7 it is for read, write and execute, and 5 is for read and execute. Okay. So directory must never be writable by group and others. Okay, so this is what the security tells. Okay, according to the directory permission security, so directory must never be writable by the group and others. So the next topic is, so we are done with changing file permissions. The two types of changing file permission, relative and absolute. Okay, and next one is directory permission is also done. The next topic is changing file ownership. So we have studied that there are two types of owners. Okay, one is file owner, another one is group owner. Okay. And here we have two commands, chown, okay, and one more is chgrp. So these are the two commands we are discussing now. Okay. So moving on to the first command, okay, chown. Okay, so this is a command that is used for changing file owner. Okay, not group owner. So this is a command which is used for changing the file owner. And this is a syntax. Okay, so write the name of the command, and followed by that you can write the options. Okay, and write the name of the new owner. So new owner to who you want to change. Okay, and you can also write the groups. Okay, so this I'll tell later. Okay, and followed by that you have to write the name of the file to which you have to change the file owner. Okay. And remember, if at all you want to change the ownership of a file, you have to move into super user permission. You require super user permission. How do you get a super user permission? What is the command that is used to get the root or super user permission? We have studied in the previous module, right? So there is a command to enter the super user mode or the root command. What is the command? To enter into the root permission.
Slash.
Huh? What is the command that is used to enter into super user mode?
SU.
SU. Okay. So SU is a command. So you have to type SU command. So after that, it will ask you to enter the root password. Okay, which will be provided by the admin. So you have to enter that root password. So after that, you can see the change in the prompt. So this is symbol, we call it as a prompt. Okay. So previously the prompt is $, and now it will get changed to hash. Okay. You can see, okay, in this, you can see what is the symbol? It is $, right? The prompt what we get is $. Okay. But suppose if you enter into root, you will get the prompt as hash. Okay. So once you enter the valid password, you will enter into the super user mode. Okay. And after that, look at a file where you want to change the file owner. Okay. So I'll execute this command ls-l, and this is the file to which I want to change the file owner. Okay. So when I execute this command, so this is what the output we are getting. Okay. So in this, okay, so this is a permission, and the link is 1, and the Kumar. So Kumar is he is a file owner. Okay, he is a file owner, and the group owner is Metal. Okay, and these are other informations. Okay, And now what we do is we execute this chown command, okay, chown. So what is the syntax? Syntax is first we have to write chown, okay, and after that if you want an option you can enter, okay, and after that you have to write the name of the new owner. So here I am typing the name of the new owner, that is Sharma, okay. So this is the name of the new owner, okay, and followed by, okay, this you don't worry now, and followed by that we have to write the name of the file. So name of the file is what? Note, okay. After that again I execute this ls minus l note, okay. Now you can see the file owner has been changed from Kumar to Sharma, okay. So this is what the change you can see. The change is the Kumar is changed to Sharma. You can execute if you have uh, Unix or Linux, okay, enter into SU mode, root permission, okay, and execute this. Okay, after that you can go for exit, okay. So after you type exit, you will come out of the super user mode. Okay. So you will get the normal prompt $. Okay. So this is how we can change the file owner. Okay. So in the exam also explain the syntax. Okay. Give one example. Okay. So next again, the next one is changing group owner. So changing group owner, the syntax is similar to the previous one. Okay, the command we have to use is chgrp. Okay, so changing group owner. So here we have an example. Okay, so this is one scenario. There are two groups. One is metal, and another one is DBA. These are two groups. Okay, and these are the two file owners we have under these two groups. Okay, one is Kumar and user, who belongs to metal group, and one more is Kumar and class 1, okay, he belongs to DBA. You can see here Kumar belongs to metal as well as DBA group. So one user can belong to more than one group. Okay, this is what you have to remember. A user can belong to more than one group, okay, which will be assigned by the admin. Okay, so ls minus l. So this is a file name. Okay, so this is an initial attribute of a file department. Okay, now what we do is we execute this chgrp command, okay, and we write the new group name. So now the new group name is DBA, okay, and after that write the name of the file and execute the ls command. Now you can see the group name has changed from metal to, initially it was metal, okay. After you execute this command, it will get changed to DBA, the new group name. Okay, now Kumar initially he was in metal, now he is assigned to DBA. Okay, clear? The only change here is you have to use chgrp command and you have to give the name of the group. Okay. So there is one more command, one more way where you can change both group as well as file owner. Okay, so you can, using just one command, you can change both file owners as well as group owner. So look into this example. So in this example, the same way you are executing a file, okay, getting the file attributes. Okay, now we are having a command called as the previous command, okay, chow, that is not new command. Okay, the previous command itself we are using chown, okay, chown command, and after that write the name of the file owner. Okay, so here we are changing both owner as well as both file owner as well as group owner. Okay, so file owner we are changing from Kumar to Sharma, okay, and group owner we are changing from metal to DBA. Okay, so this command chown can be used to change both file owner as well as group owner. Now after executing this ls command, you can see both group as well as file owner has been changed. Okay, so from Kumar it has been changed to Sharma, and metal it is changed to DBA. So like this you can change both file as well as group owner. So that is what you can see in the syntax. Okay, in the bracket we have dot colon group, right? So this is an optional. You can also mention the group name if you want to change the group. Okay. So if you write it in a bracket, it is optional. Okay, you can mention. It is not necessary that you have to mention the group name. Okay, you can just ignore the group name and you can mention only the file owner. Okay, here you need not write Sharma colon metal. Okay, you can just write the name of the file owner. It's enough. Okay. But if you want to change it, then you can specify here new name of the group. Okay. The same name if you want, you need not mention. Okay. If you want to convert it into a new name, then you have to mention the new name of the group. Okay. So is it clear? Is it clear? Any doubt in this? So one of the important questions, okay, how you can change the file ownership. So don't get confused, don't be confused. Okay. The previous one, what we studied, it is changing file permission. Okay. Now what we discussed is changing file ownership. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? Boys? Any doubt? We can't. We can't. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So there are 3 chapters. Yeah, in the module 2, there is 3 chapters. Is it clear? If it is not clear, I'll explain once again. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So there are three chapters. Okay, so we are done with one chapter. Okay, under module 2, there are 3 chapters. Okay, moving on to the next chapter. Okay, so in the next chapter, we'll be discussing these topics. Okay. So wildcards. Okay. Then what are the different types of standard files? What is redirection? Okay. What is a pipe? Okay. Then what are the different regular expressions? And what is a grep command? Okay. So some of the examples using regular expressions. Okay. So these things we'll be discussing in the next module, in the next chapter. Okay. So once you attend is Naresh, Navina, Nayana,
Present, ma'am.
Nikita,
Present, ma'am.
Nikita Rao,
Present, ma'am.
Nishank,
Yes, ma'am.
Pavan,
Yes, ma'am.
Prajwal, Prajwal, Pramodini, Pranita,
Present, ma'am.
Pratiksha, Pratiksha J,
Present, ma'am.
Priyanka,
Present, ma'am.
Prithvi,
Present, ma'am.
Rashmita,
Present, ma'am.
Rohit, Kiran, Shreyas, Sadakesha,
Yes, ma'am.
Samiksha,
Present, ma'am.
Sampat Kumar,
Yes, ma'am.
Sampat Kumar PL,
Yes, ma'am.
Sandeep Kumar, Sanjay,
Yes, ma'am.
Santosh,
Yes, ma'am.
Africa,
Present, ma'am.
Sharat, Parvati,
Present, ma'am.
Shivani,
Present, ma'am.
Shivani P,
Yes, ma'am.
Shravan, Rija.
Yes, ma'am.
Rija, what you are doing when I was asking question? Huh?
Ma'am, actually, I kept it on when while answering the question, and then it automatically got unmuted, ma'am.
No, unmuted. No, I'm asking, when I was asking question, I was not getting any response. I had asked you a question. Shreya,
Present, ma'am.
Srikanth, Srikanth, Smita,
Present, ma'am.
Suraj,
Yes, ma'am.
Saujanya,
Yes, ma'am.
Sri Lakshmi,
Yes, ma'am.
Sudarshana,
Present, ma'am.
Sumant,
Yes, ma'am.
Sumant Rai,
Yes, ma'am.
Abhishek,
Yes, ma'am.
Vaishnavi,
Yes, ma'am.
Vaishnavi VD,
Yes, ma'am.
Karthik,
Yes, ma'am.
Vijeta,
Present, ma'am.
Vijita, Vijita, Vikram,
Present, ma'am.
Yashasvi,
Present, ma'am.
Akshata,
Present, ma'am.
Likit Raj, Muhammad Faiz,
Yes, ma'am.
Prithviraj,
Yes, ma'am.
Lakshmi, Lakshmi Arjun. So moving on to the next topic. So Shell's interpretive cycle. Okay, Shell's interpretive cycle. So we have already studied about the architecture of Unix. Okay, architecture of Unix, where you have shell, kernel, okay, user. So coming to the shell, it is a program. Okay, it's a program, or we call it as an agency. Okay, which comes in between the user and the kernel or system, operating system. Okay, from the user, okay, the user, as a user, you give an input to the shell. Okay, in the form of a program, or it can be a shell script. Okay, you give the input to the shell, and the shell will execute that program with the help of kernel. Okay, with the help of kernel, it will execute that program and give the output to the user. Okay. Similarly, when I'm executing a command, okay, we have used a terminal to execute the command. As a user, we are giving different commands. Okay, so it will be given to the shell. Okay, and the shell will accept that command. Okay, it will accept that command. It will take the help of kernel and execute that. Okay, it will execute that and it will give the output to the user. So shell is mainly a program, okay, for executing different commands, or it can be different programs. The following activities are typically performed by the shell in the interpretive cycle. Okay, so what are the activities performed by the shell? The first one is the shell issues a prompt. Okay, you will get a prompt, that's a dollar symbol. Okay, and it will wait you for to enter the command. So it will wait. For example, we have seen here, right? So it will get a dollar. Okay, we are having a dollar symbol. Okay. So please mute and keep some disturbance. So initially we are getting a dollar symbol. After that we enter the command. Okay. So it waits for you to enter the command. After the command is entered, okay, the shell will scan the command line for meta characters. Okay. So you can give some meta characters, or we call it as wildcards. Okay. For example, ls dot. Okay. The ls dot, it will list all the files. Okay. So these are some of the, for example, rm star. So rm star will remove. So star means it is a 0 or more. Okay, rm is for a command, is used for what? Rm command. Rm command. Okay, it is for removing the file. If I give rm star, it will remove all the files. Okay, remember rm star. So it is very dangerous to execute this. Okay, rm star, it will delete all the files, okay, in a particular directory. Okay, so whenever the command is entered, the shell will scan for the command. Okay, it will search is there any special characters, we call it as a meta character. Okay, and if it is there, it will expand the abbreviations and it will create its simplest command line. Okay, and after that, it passes that command line to the kernel for execution. Okay, to take the help of kernel for execution. Then shell will wait for the command to complete the execution. Okay, and normally can't do any work while the command is running. Usually it will just take very less time. Okay, very fraction of time it will take for executing simple commands. Okay, as soon as you enter the command, you will be able to see the output. Okay, but still it will take some fraction of time to complete. Okay, at that time it cannot do any work. Okay, it will just running the command. So after the command execution is complete, okay, the prompt reappears and it will return the result. Okay, and it will go for the next cycle where you can enter the another command. Okay, so we are just telling what happens when you are executing the command. So initially what happens, you are getting a dollar symbol, correct? After that you will enter some command. Okay, and you can enter some meta characters. Okay, after the command is entered, you are giving this command to the shell and shell will take the help of the kernel to execute the file. Okay, after that it will give you the result. Okay, and then again it will go to the next cycle where you can enter the next command. Okay, so this is the activity which happens during the shell interpretive cycle. Okay. So moving on to the next topic, wildcards, or we call it as meta characters. Have you studied about meta characters or wildcards before this in any of the subject? Regular expressions. Have you heard about this? Meta characters, wildcards, or regular expression? Are you familiar with this? Hmm? Please answer. Have you heard about this in any subject previous semester? Please respond. Please respond. Did you study about this?
No, ma'am.
No.
I have not studied.
So here we are going to study about wild characters. Okay, so these are different wild cards. Okay, and the meaning of this wild card is listed in the right side. So Star. So star indicates any number of characters including none. Okay, so star indicates, so simply you can tell 0 or more characters. Okay, so star means it is 0 or more characters. I'll give example for all this. Okay. So next one is a question mark. So question mark, it matches a single character. It will match a single character. So similarly, you have, if you write something like this in the bracket, okay, so I have written here IJK. So if I write like this, it matches a single character, okay, it will matches any single character. It can be either I, J or K. It will match only I, K and J, okay, not any other character, remember. Okay, so it will match only those characters which will come inside this class. Here, if I write X hyphen Z, it's a small case, remember it's a small case. So it matches a single character that is within the ASCII range of Z to X to Z. Okay, so it will matches the ASCII character, remember. Okay, so it matches any character, okay, from small letter X to Z. Okay, a single character, remember, a single character. It doesn't matches XY. Okay, it will matches only a single character. And here, if I write something like this, okay, you have here negation symbol. Okay, negation IJK. So negation stands for not. Okay, it matches any single character. Okay, but not I, J or K. Okay, so it will match every small letter, okay, or uppercase, but it should not be I, J or K. Okay, similarly, there is one more example. So this will match, okay, any single character, okay, but not the character from X to Z. So this stands for not. So here, if I write something within the curly braces, okay, so this will match, okay, the pattern what you write at the first, okay, the pat 1 or pat 2. Okay, so this I'll explain all this with examples. So today we'll see the first wild card, star. Okay. So let us look into this. So here I will type ls script. So this is one more terminal. It is free. Okay, online terminal. See here, I'll write script star. The ls is a command. It is meant for listing the files. Okay. So can anybody tell what is the output of this? See here, these are the files I have. Okay. These are the files I have. So coming to, yeah, these are the files. Can anybody tell what is the output? What it will? So star indicates it is 0 or more character. So after the script, okay, after script I can have 0 or more character. So it can be just the script, it can be script 1, it can be script ABC, script 111, or script 100. Okay, so it matches 0 or more characters. Okay, here in this I have these files. Okay, but it should start with the script. Okay, the word should be, the starting word should be script. After that I can have anything. Okay, it can be script 1, script ABC, script any your name, anything. Okay, any character, any number, anything you can have. Okay, but it should start with the script. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What if I write like this? Script 1 star. Now, tell me what will be the output. So these are the files I have. Okay, so these are the files I have. Now I want to list a file. Okay, I have written script 1 star. What will be the output? what will be the output? Whether it will list script 2.sh, whether it will list script 2.sh, whether it will list script 2.sh.
No, ma'am.
No. So here, what I'm telling is, it should start with script 1, okay, and after that I can have 0 or more characters. Okay. So here, what it will list? It will list only one file, that is script1.sh. It will not list script 2 because script 2 is having not, it is not having script 1, right? It should start with the script 1. Okay. And here, this also it will not list because it is not having script 1, correct? It is just a script. Okay. What if I write, if I want to match all the files, okay, something like this. Now, what will be the output? So these are the files. Okay. What will the output? CHAP star. What will be the output? Samiksha. Samiksha. What will be the output?
Files with name chapter
With the name chapter.
from chapter 1, chapter 11.
Chapter. Okay. Whether it will list this file.
Yes, from 0 to more.
Okay. Whether it will list this file. CHAP.
Yes.
What about this chapter star?
Chapter star indicates 0 and more.
No, I'm talking whether it will list this file. There are these many files I have which will start with CHAP, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Among this, whether it will list all these files.
Yes.
Yes. It will
Yes.
list all these files. Okay, let us see. Okay. So it is listing first file CHAP, CHAP star, CHAP1, CHAP11, CHAP2. So it will list all the file which will start with the CHAP. After that, it can have 0 or more characters. CHAP1. Now, what are the files will be listed? Shivani, Shivani Kamal. What are the files will be listed now?
CHAP1.
CHAP1. So whether this file will be listed? Whether this
And
file.
CHAP11.
Come again, tell me once again. Whether it will list this file CHAP1. Whether this will be listed CHAP1.
Yes.
What about this CHAP11?
Yes.
Okay. What about this CHAP2?
No.
Okay. So here it will list two files. Okay. So here CHAP1. After that I can have 0 or more characters. So here I have two files. Okay, which will start from CHAP1. Okay. So here after this CHAP1 I don't have any character. That is also fine. Okay. And here what I have is after CHAP1 I have one more one. So that is chapter 11. Okay. So this is what the output. So remaining will continue in the next session. The remaining will continue in the next class. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.